Hey everyone, and welcome back to Life After Prison, a series dedicated to shedding light on the often overlooked realities of the criminal justice system. In this installment, we're diving into a topic that's as uncomfortable as it is crucial: police corruption. We'll be peeling back the layers of this systemic issue, examining its devastating impact on individuals and communities alike. Remember, this isn't just about sensational headlines or isolated incidents. It's about a deeply rooted problem that demands our attention and action. So buckle up, because things are about to get real. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want to encourage you to stay connected. Hit that follow button, subscribe to the channel, and share this information far and wide. The more people who are aware of these issues, the better equipped we are to demand change. This isn't just about consuming information passively, it's about becoming active participants in the fight for justice. Your voice matters, your engagement matters, and together, we can make a difference. Let's address the elephant in the room. Police corruption is a nationwide epidemic. From coast to coast, we see instances of abuse of power, excessive force, and blatant disregard for civil rights. And while it's easy to point fingers at individual bad apples, the reality is far more systemic. The truth is, a culture of silence often protects these corrupt officers, allowing them to operate with impunity. This blue wall of silence prevents accountability and perpetuates a cycle of abuse that disproportionately affects marginalized communities. When we talk about police corruption, we're not just talking about a few bad cops. We're talking about a system that often protects them. We're talking about a culture where excessive force, racial profiling, and planting evidence are swept under the rug. We're talking about a system where victims of police brutality are often disbelieved, discredited, and denied justice. This culture of impunity is unacceptable, and it's time we dismantle it brick by brick. Section 5, Ground Zero, where corruption runs deepest. While police corruption is a national issue, some areas are more notorious than others. The problem is pervasive, affecting communities and eroding trust in law enforcement. It's a complex issue that involves not just individual officers, but entire systems and cultures within police departments. For example, California consistently ranks high in police misconduct complaints. The state has been a focal point for discussions on police reform and accountability. With its large and diverse population, the challenges faced by law enforcement in California are unique and multifaceted. From Los Angeles to San Francisco, reports of excessive force, racial profiling, and corruption within law enforcement agencies are far too common. These issues are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader pattern that has persisted for decades. The impact on communities, particularly marginalized ones, is profound and long-lasting. The Los Angeles Police Department, or LAPD in particular, has a long and troubled history of corruption scandals, from the Rampart Division scandal to more recent allegations of gang-like activity within its ranks. The Rampart scandal of the late 1990s exposed widespread corruption, including drug dealing, planting evidence, and unprovoked shootings by officers. These incidents highlight the urgent need for reform and accountability within the LAPD and other departments across the state. Community leaders and activists have long called for changes, advocating for better oversight, transparency, and community policing initiatives. The road to reform is challenging, but essential for restoring public trust and ensuring justice for all. Efforts to address these issues include increased training for officers, the implementation of body cameras, and community outreach programs designed to build trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve. These measures are steps in the right direction, but much work remains to be done. Legislative efforts at the state level have also been crucial. Lawmakers in California have passed several bills aimed at increasing police accountability and transparency. These include measures to make police records more accessible to the public and to establish independent oversight bodies. The push for reform is driven by a diverse coalition of community members, activists, and policymakers who are committed to creating a more just and equitable system. Their efforts are a testament to the power of collective action and the ongoing struggle for justice. While the journey towards meaningful reform is far from over, the progress made so far offers hope. By continuing to hold law enforcement accountable and advocating for systemic changes, we can work towards a future where trust between police and the communities they serve is restored. Section 6. A glimmer of hope. The least corrupt department. Believe it or not, even amidst the bleak reality of police corruption, there are glimmers of hope. In a world where trust in law enforcement is often questioned, some departments are making significant efforts to change the narrative. Some departments, like the San Francisco Police Department, have made strides in recent years to address misconduct and improve transparency. These efforts are not just about policy changes, but also about fostering a culture of accountability and openness. While they still have a long way to go, their efforts offer a blueprint for other departments looking to rebuild trust with their communities. Initiatives such as community policing, where officers actively engage with residents, and transparency meetings, where the public is informed about police activities, are steps in the right direction. It's important to note that even in departments with fewer reported incidents, corruption can still exist. The challenge lies in ensuring that these efforts are sustained and that they lead to meaningful change. The absence of evidence doesn't always equal evidence of absence. Just because a department reports fewer incidents of corruption doesn't mean it's entirely free of it. Vigilance and continuous improvement are key. The journey towards a corruption-free police force is ongoing, and it requires the collective effort of both the police and the community they serve. Training programs focused on ethics and integrity, along with community oversight, can play a crucial role in this transformation. By working together, communities and police departments can create an environment where trust and cooperation flourish. Recognizing and rewarding positive behavior within the police force can also encourage more officers to follow suit. Celebrating the successes, no matter how small, can build momentum for larger systemic changes. In the end, a glimmer of hope can turn into a beacon of change. The San Francisco Police Department's efforts, though still in progress, show that with dedication and collaboration, a more transparent and accountable police force is possible. Section 7. The alarming numbers. Police corruption by the numbers. The statistics on police corruption are staggering. It's a problem that affects communities across the nation, eroding trust and undermining the very foundation of law enforcement. According to the Cato Institute's National Police Misconduct Reporting Project, there are an average of 1,100 reported cases of police misconduct each year. This number is not just a statistic, it represents real people and real lives affected by the actions of those sworn to protect them. These cases range from excessive force and false arrests to corruption and sexual assault. Each incident not only impacts the victim, but also their families and communities, creating a ripple effect of mistrust and fear. Keep in mind that these numbers likely represent just the tip of the iceberg. The reported cases are only a fraction of the actual incidents that occur. Many go unreported due to various reasons, including fear of retaliation and a lack of faith in the justice system. Many victims of police misconduct never come forward due to fear of retaliation or a lack of faith in the system. This fear is not unfounded. There have been numerous instances where whistleblowers and victims faced severe consequences for speaking out. The true extent of the problem is likely far more pervasive than these statistics suggest. Communities are left grappling with the aftermath, often feeling helpless and unheard. The need for comprehensive reform and accountability in law enforcement has never been more urgent. Addressing police corruption requires a multifaceted approach. It involves not only holding officers accountable, but also implementing systemic changes that promote transparency and integrity within the force. Community involvement and oversight are crucial in this process. Training programs that emphasize de-escalation, cultural sensitivity, and ethical behavior can make a significant difference. Additionally, the use of body cameras and other monitoring technologies can help ensure that officers are held accountable for their actions. Ultimately, the goal is to rebuild trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve. By addressing the root causes of police corruption and implementing meaningful reforms, we can create a safer, more just society for everyone. Together, we can make a difference. It's time to take action and demand the change we want to see in our communities. Section 8, stay tuned. The fight continues. We've covered a lot of ground today, but this is just the beginning of the conversation. In the coming weeks, we'll be delving deeper into specific cases of police corruption, examining the systemic factors that enable it, and exploring potential solutions. This is an ongoing fight, and we need your help to keep the pressure on. Stay informed, stay engaged, and never stop demanding justice. Section 9. Join the conversation. Your voice matters. Now, more than ever, it's crucial that we keep talking about police corruption. Share this video, discuss it with your friends and family, and let's keep this issue at the forefront of public discourse. Your voice matters. Your outrage matters. Together, we can be the catalyst for change. Section 10. Thank you for being a part of the change. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into police corruption and its impacts. Remember, this isn't just about pointing fingers. It's about demanding accountability, transparency, and a justice system that works for everyone. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep fighting the good fight for justice.